What is going on, guys? DBG here. Today we're going to continue talking about NBA 2k23 MyTEAM. We're going to be preparing you guys in the best way possible for day one, because at the end of the day, the more prepared you are going into the year, the better off you are going to be. There's a reason why after one day the last couple of years I built no money spend squads that can compete with the best squads in the game. If you guys know what you are doing, you are going to be perfectly fine. That's a big thing. You gotta know what you're doing. So in this video, we are going to be looking at how to build the perfect squad for starting out. So basically, it's going to be just kind of like prototypes of players, like certain archetypes that you guys need at each of your positions in order to be very successful in this game. So it is going to be quite an interesting one because we're judging this based off previous years, and from what I've heard about how the game plays, is I've not played the game, but I know plenty of people that have, and I've been talking, and it's not just guys at the event. I know people that have early copies of this game, talking to them about how the game plays offline anyway. So I will have a general idea of what is going to be good. Haven't seen anything, but from what I've seen, it does appear that while yes, the game plays differently, you're going to want almost the same attributes as you do at the start of every year. Because while the games play differently when everyone's a 99 overall, we can't forget post spinning was a big thing in 2k22. Post game was big at the start of the year, actually like drop stepping people. The issue is when nobody has their badges, years almost always kind of go and play the same, if we're being completely honest. So anyway, let's go and talk about that. We're going to actually just start off here on the database. We're going to create a 2k22 lineup. So basically, at the point guard position, what you guys want is somebody that can create. You can go one of three ways. You can go pure lock. You can go pure lock at your point guard position. And going pure lock is an interesting one because it means that you have a little bit more freedom at the 2 and the 3, and it means you can get someone to be running your offense at the 2. Normally, I like pure locks at the point guard position later on because we don't get any like god tier creating 2 guards in the game. I mean, we did in 2K21. We got We got Houston. But unless you're running through your 2 guards, I would strongly advise to use like your point guard to create in one of 2 ways. They can you're not going to get someone who can create off the 3 and dunk at the start of the year. You're going to be looking for someone who can either get to the basket and dunk or shoot the 3 ball. So the obvious option is if you have the MT, this guy right here, where is he? He's here, Stephen Curry. If you have the MT to get a Stephen Curry, go and get yourself a Stephen Curry card. Just point blank period. If you can get yourself a Steph Curry, go get yourself a Steph Curry. But there are a lot of alternate options. There's one really interesting option that I think could be a very interesting one. Because you see this Steph Curry here, he's probably going to get gold range extender and stuff. Let's just take a look at what Darren Williams got, because I think he's going to be comparable to Darren Williams from last year. So like last year we got the Darren Williams 92 overall, who came at like 3 hoffs. You guys can't see it fully here. He came at like 3 hoffs, 19 golds, something like that. You're going to see like gold range on Stephen Curry. But if you guys don't know, like Steph Curry last year, his base set card still had like bronze range. He didn't have the greatest speed in the world, but what was his current card? The 92 overall. 83 speed. He's not going to have any defense, but he's probably going to have silver badges. So an interesting pickup is if you guys can't afford this Steph Curry, I don't think a lot of people are going to be able to afford him. I think that saving up some tokens and maybe going for this Steph Curry is not a bad idea. The base set players, Dame is another one offensively who could be really good because he's going to have good animations to go release, going to be able to shoot from deep, and he's going to be able to dunk. So Dame could actually be freaking him for all we know. But one of the cards I think most people are going to use is Ja. I think Ja is going to be that point guard that people use. Either way, how Ja is going to create by rim running. So you can get a creator in either way. You can either go and get yourself like a Stephen Curry card, or you can go and get yourself a Ja Morant card. Either of them work well. Ja Morant had a base set card, didn't he? Yeah, he had an Evo up Big Country. But yeah, I think Ja's probably the best bet. If you're going for like what I would do, I would go with Ja. Like I'm gonna stick with Ja. I think it's the safest bet because if you want to run a 5 that can shoot the ball, if you can go and get yourself a center that can shoot, suddenly Ja allows you to run 5 out better than like a 3 hunter will allow you to run 5 out. So with the 2 and the 3, what you want is 2 players that can shoot the lights out. It doesn't matter. At the start, everyone's like, oh, you need height. No, that doesn't matter at the start of the year. You're going to see double point guards. You're going to be seeing like a Ja and a Steph. Your double point guards are a thing to start every year in my team, because all the time point guards just do more. If people were running Donovan Mitchell as a shooting guard last year, double point guards are a thing. But what you want here, if you're running a cone, one of these guys has got to be your creator. But if you are running someone like a Ja or a Steph, a creator, you need one of these guys to be your best. You can't have an absolute hologram. So like they gotta at least be passable in defense. But one of these guys has got to be your pure lock. Which means you need like clamps. You need, I don't even know how many badges. I don't even know what badges they have. They have in the game this year. But basically you need guys that have defensive badges. Simple as, you need one of these 2 guys got to have defensive badges. So I would be guessing if you want to go and get yourself Jimmy Butler. I don't think he'll be a bad option, even though I do think he's probably going to. I would go and get him last because I think he'll be able to evo up Ja in like half an hour. I think it'll probably take a half an hour for Embiid, and I think it's probably going to take an hour to do Jimmy Butler. But evoing up Jimmy Butler, I don't think is going to be a bad option to play there if you want a pure lock. I think this guy, and if you pre-ordered the game, getting Jordan could be really, really nice. Going and getting yourself a Michael Jordan card for just pre-ordering the game could be huge. But I do think Fred Jones is going to be almost everybody's shooting guard because it's like 10 games. Everyone who gets the game is going to play 10 games in one day. So everyone's going to have that Fred Jones in their lineup. He's a little bit undersized. He's 6'4", but he's still going to be really, really good. And then, where do we go? Jordan is another player that a lot of people are going to have because Jordan gets is Jordan defensive stance. So Jordan's going to be that pure lock. So we might be saying, oh, he's only 89 overall. So let's look at Michael Jordan cards that we've gotten in other years that were like 70 or 90 overall Jordans. Same difference, 89, 90, same difference. So if we look, what was the lowest? You only got this. This Michael Jordan was a scrub. There's no point judging by this Jordan. But still, even this Jordan, an 85 overall, could still play defense. He could still do everything but shoot the ball. Like, he wasn't even that bad. But if we go to NBA 2k21 and we look at the Michael Jordan card we got at the start of that year, we look at 90 overall Jordan, or was he 91 clutch? You're looking at like a 69 3-ball. So I think that's what Jordan's going to get. He's not going to get the half badges, but he's going to get good defensive stats. He's going to get probably near 90 speed with like a 73 ball. So if you can start greening with Jordan, he's not going to be the worst in the world either. He's probably going to get a maximum of a 73 ball rating, but he still could be a really, really good option here. Either Jordan or Fred Jones, because again, they're going to both be pure locks anyway. Or another option that you can run at the 2. I'm not sure if he'll be able to play at the 2, or you can run him at the 3. Is if you want pure lock, probably go Jordan. Fred Jones is probably what most of you use. And the small forward position, this is going to be another situation where I think maybe go and use your token on getting one of these cards and getting Kawhi Leonard. What Kawhi Leonard does come with is, we don't know what release he's going to come with, but it's probably going to be something good. If Kawhi Leonard has a bum release, get Paul George. Because I just want to see what Paul George is in this draft. So he's only small forward. If he sucks, you can get Paul George. If not, you're kind of sorted. So Kawhi or PG, I would say, are probably the perfect guys. If you want a pure lock, like PG and Kawhi can both play that and they can both kind of shoot the ball. So they're going to be really interesting players to get on day one. So we already know PG's a Sapphire. Kawhi's probably going to be a Ruby. And if Kawhi gets released to anything even remotely close to what Ray Allen's base was this year, actually, Ray Allen base is still in the game. Kawhi probably gets Ray Allen base. Kawhi could be a really, really good card. But basically, you want that archetype of someone that can shoot and play defense at the 2 and the 3. Like, you might say, oh, you want them to do a little bit more. But at the same time, your point guard's there for that. At the start of the game, you literally need one player to create. You don't need to create through 2 or 3 players. That's not it at the end of the year. You're not going to find, there's not going to be a player in the game on day one that is a really good defender, can create off the dribble, and has good enough height, and can shoot. You're not getting a guy with all 4. So you kind of need to have all of that between 3 players. You need 3 players to cover all of those options. You can't get them from 1 player yet in the game this year. Power forward, you need someone who's 6'8" and above and can shoot the ball. Simple as, nothing else is needed. They just need to be able to shoot the ball. 75 to 80 speed and shoot the ball. You might be thinking I'm crazy. No, 75 to 80 speed and shoot the ball. That's all you need in a power forward. It's all anyone's ever needed in a day one power forward. Like, if you can go and get yourself a Lamar Odom, use Lamar Odom. If you can manage to get yourself him, heck, Buggy will survive out there. But Buggy's going to be very expensive. Scotty Barnes, like, again, the perfect prototype. You know, I'm saying, oh, he's too little. It doesn't matter. It's day one. Height means zilch on day one. It means absolutely nothing. I was running Michael Porter Jr. at power forward. If they give us another card like that in day one, we are sorted. Basically, you want someone with an 85 plus 3 ball, mediocre speed, and then that's fine. That's all you need. That's all you need the power forward. So, like, if we look even at last year, we got Michael freaking Porter Jr. This dude was basically everybody's power forward at the start of the year because he just never missed. He's never missed. He was great. And at the center position, you can go one of two ways here. You can go one of two ways when it comes to centers. You can either go with a massive body, with like a Rick Smits. You can go like a Rick Smits type large body player in there. And what they're going to do is they're just going to clean up on every rebound. They're going to block every shot. And they're going to just, once they get the ball in the paint, they're going to just bully little guys. Bigger players get better post animations. They get better drop step animations. They get better spin animations, better worm animations, purely because of just their size. They just get better animations on the inside. So we know for a fact Rick Smits is in the game because of this picture right here. You guys can see Rick Smits. So Rick Smits is a really good option. As well as that, another not bad option is, in fact, the Joel Embiid. Joel Embiid's going to be 7 foot tall, a big player build. He's going to have in and around a 73 ball, probably a bad release though. He's going to be able to block shots mediocrely well. He's probably going to get 65 speed. So he's going to be a not bad option. The only thing is he's kind of like a tweener. And I don't think it's a time for like tweeners or jack of all trades. I think every card needs a specific role. So we've got Rick Smits who has the giant role. If there's a Dikembe, go and get Dikembe. Dino Raja because he's got a damn 7'11" wingspan. Unless they change that, of course. Because we don't ever know when it comes to Dino Raja if they change his wingspan or not. Because what was Dino's wingspan this year? That was, so we had 7'11", 2k21. We didn't even, so we had 7'11" and then 7'3". So it really all depends on what they do with Dino's wingspan. Because we know we have a Dino straight away. He could be a good option at power forward. Or he could be a decent option at center or even power forward. But what you want with a center is you either want like a pure shooter, like say Ibaka was, or Boucher, a popper, who can maybe block shots. They're going to be probably smaller, they're going to be skinnier, they're going to get bullied by Rick Smits, but on the other end, they're going to give him the business as well. You're either going to want a popper or a giant. You don't want 8 in between. You don't want someone who can kind of pop and can kind of deal with a giant. You want a specialist, and you want either a popper or a giant. That's just the way 2K's always been, especially at the start of the year, because you can get specialists for really cheap. You can get guys that will do almost the same as these like top tier guys for almost nothing. Like if you look last year at this set, right, or like day one. So you look at say like Danny Granger for Colossal as the reward. So not even Danny Granger. You look at Ray Allen and you're like, okay, yeah, Ray Allen's got like a 93 3 ball. He's got like mediocre defense, 79 speed. You could get plenty of guys that just did the same thing as him. Dame was an exception. But a lot of guys like these, you could find guys that were specialists that did, like Ray Allen was a specialist. You could find like 3-point specialists that did the same thing as Ray Allen. The only like card that was really set itself apart last year was Danny Granger. But Danny Granger couldn't really create at all. So he was still just another jack of all trades who in the end, in 2 weeks, wasn't even the greatest card in the world. So that's my advice to you guys. That is genuinely my advice to all of you guys when it comes to creating your teams. Is have set roles for your teams. Know exactly what you need from all your players. Know exactly what your point guard to do, your shooting guard to do, your small forward to do, your power forward to do, your center to do. Know what you want them all to do, and then basically find players that fit that role. If you want to use your favorite players, unfortunately, you're either going to pay way over the odds like a Steph Curry, or you're going to get some scrubs. It's highly likely to happen in that way. Maybe a couple of the current players will be good, like Paul George and Kawhi and stuff, but like if you want to use LeBron, you're not going to get a LeBron day one. I'm just going to be truthful with you guys right there. So yeah, that is basically it. Let me know if you guys agree, disagree. We're obviously not going to talk about specific players, but in my opinion, this is the best way to make a squad for day one. Thank you guys for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe.